So this is my screen. So if you have any challenges, please feel free to ask me any question. So now, yesterday, we worked with C#. Now I explained Console.WriteLine. That's using Hello World. So that's the first, and they call it the default programming language for C#, Hello World. So the next one, I said, it's not compulsory to use Console.WriteLine. You can use Console.Write. So once you use Console.Write, this is a different method to print using C#. So the line 6 is another one, and I was able to explain about using the word the breaking point. So if I put a breakpoint here and I run this code, so I want to run the code. So there are two ways you can run it, just run or use the debug. So once you use the debug and I just debug it and I just run the application, take note, the breakpoints will always go to the first breakpoint that you set. So once it gets there, it stops. So whatever you want to check, you can check it. That's why, because it is at the debug console. So I can move it and see, oh, these are the files, everything. Microsoft making use of the .NET Core debugger. So with that, we now move. We kept on moving. So this, after this, we move to the next one. So it leaps over it. So once you click on continue, I think I did a little bit of error that was yesterday. So making use of using step over and continue. So you leap over a wall. So leap over a wall is using that step over. Okay, I leap from number 2 to what? To the next breakpoint, number 3. But take note of this. There's no breakpoint in 5, 6, 7. So when I use step over, can you see it goes to the next line, whereby whether there's a breakpoint or there's not a breakpoint there, it goes there. So it leaps from number 4 to the next line of code, number 6. Because why? Number 5 is what? Empty and blank. So you hear that word leap over a wall. So I think I explain it now better today. So now the next one is number 6. You use the step over, it goes to 8, 8, it goes to 10. So with this, you can see the results of each of the operations down. This is a different method to print using C#. Now this is the 3rd sentence. Now the next one is, this is the 4th sentence. Now you use the next one. So with this, all these are taken into consideration when you're making use of C# to be the programming language. Now, after this, you continue. So that's the end. So that's the first one. Now, I want to explain what's the difference between Console.WriteLine and Console.Write. So, if you take note of these results, yeah. Now, this is Hello World. Hello World is having Console.WriteLine. Console.WriteLine. That's what Hello World has. Console.WriteLine. So, but take note of this. Line 4 is Console.Write. Console. Dot the full stop write. So Console.Write is different from Console.WriteLine. How? So Console.WriteLine is, okay, I'm on a straight line, right? You're on a straight line, tempo on a straight line. So when you're on that straight line, no other person can be at your front. It is not allowed. Or at your side. It is not allowed. That is on a straight line. That's why you see Console.WriteLine. Console means whatever you're writing on a console. So this is a console that is bringing out the results. That's why you see .NET Core Launch Console app. Console is a console app. So with this, if you go further, you see they call it, you see, use the terminal. Terminal is to say, okay, this is the result of what I've written in my console, and that is okay, all well and good. So with this Console.WriteLine, so it's on a straight line. You must not allow anybody in your left or on your right. But making use of the Console.Write, using Console.Write, make sure it makes people to be on your left or on your right. This is my left hand and this is my right hand. And if you don't want that to be done, if you don't want that to happen to you today, all you have to do is to use what? Console.WriteLine. And that has already happened. Why? Because that was yesterday. I used Console.Write. So Console.Write shows, print out this this is a different method to print using C#. But take note, the next one, the write line, picks up the next available line, and what's this next available, the next picks up the next line of action to be printed out and print it out. This is the third sentence. So this is the third sentence. So that shows that it has no regard of, okay, I need to go to the next line. Oh, someone is on this line. I don't need to be on the left. I don't need to be on the right. I need to be at the back. Because you use Console.Write, it stays, the next thing is you see the next sentence beside it. That's what this is, the third sentence. And I can prove that to you. Now I can just take away this Console.Write and leave it as I just made this edit now. And let me, should not be fast. What did I did in line 6? In line 6, what I did was that I took away line and I saved it. Now I'm not going to debug it. I will just run the application with the file. So take notes, once you run the application, the breakpoints and the rest of the application, take note of it, is just what? Not checked. Why? Because you've run the application, so it's not going to touch the breakpoint. It's there from debugging. So yesterday what I did mostly was debugging, explaining debugging. Debugging is used to what? Check an error. Debugging is used to check, oh, is this thing right or is this thing wrong? Oh, am I actually wrong at this line or am I actually right at this line? So that is what debugging is actually used for. So with this hello world, this is a different method to print using C#. This is the third sentence. Can you see? Because I took away line, look at what happened. This is the fourth sentence. So this one, pick the next one. After this exclamation mark, can you see there is no space at all? Now, I want us to have an idea or knowledge about this. Now, what about the fifth one? So I'm saying if I take away this line, now for the fifth line, and I save it, and I'm running the application. Take note, you might run the application from this angle, or you might run it from this angle straight away. This is debugging. So if I want to do the debugging, if I want to launch it, if I want to use .NET Core attach the launch console, so if I just want to debug it straight away. So I'm trying to debug it and to run the application. So with this, can you see debug? So it enters debug mode again. So what can I do? I can use step into. I can say step out of it, step out of it. Can you see step out? Step out move from this line 4 to line 8. So I'm trying to make you know the difference between step over, step into, step out. So step out, you just step out of the application, and before you know, all the sentence all the application have been run very fast. That's the advantage of using step out. So take note of the last one, the fifth one, Console.Write is still having this is the fifth sentence. But Console.WriteLine, this is the fourth sentence, is attached to the sixth line. This is the third sentence. Why? Now let me explain it. Now you're on a straight line. The first person is on the first row on the same column. Now the second person steps in. Because you're having it on a straight line, it takes the whole width of that line. So your hand is stretched out. So no other person can be on your left or on your right. Now the next one is Console.Write. Because you're using Console.Write, you can stay at your back. All well and good. That's line 4. So this is a different method to print using C#. Now the next one is line 6. It says this is the third sentence. Now because Console.Write and is not stretched, that's for line 4. Which another person can stay. So what's going to happen to line 6? It stays beside it. Oh, your hand is not stretched. So this is the third sentence. Now take note of this. Since his hand is not stretched, Number 6, line 6 and 2 is not stretched. So definitely line 8 still can stay there. Let's say, oh, now I'm using Console.WriteLine. When I get to this place, so I'll stay beside line 6. Line 8 will stay beside line 6. Sorry, you can't see me. Line 8 will stay beside line 6. And what's going to happen? It's going to stretch its hand. So he's going to push line 4 and line 6 to his left, and it's going to stretch his right hand. So with that, it takes the whole width. So when line 10 is now coming, line 10 is now coming, line 10 could not do much. All he has to do is that, oh, the hand has been stretched. There's no more spaces. There's no more space again. All he has to do is that start the back of line 8. So that is the difference between Console.Write and Console.WriteLine. So thank you so much. I've been able to explain when you're using Console.Write and Console.WriteLine. So WriteLine takes the whole width, while Console.Write just what stays on its own and allows what people to join it from the left or from the right on a straight line. Thank you so much. So today on Instagram, that was yesterday, I said we're going to move to another part, which is what making use of mathematical operations. So what am I going to do? I'm going to make a delete. I'll copy this. Okay, I'll just highlight this and I'll delete it. So with this, what the next thing I'm going to do, a mathematical operation. But if I perform a mathematical operation, I need to explain what is a variable. We need to know how to declare a variable. So what is a variable? A variable is used to store a value. I'll say it again. A variable is used to store a value. So I'll explain what a variable means. Like now, I can have, okay, I have a phone. So with this, okay, this is my phone. I'm with a phone. This is my phone. And I say, okay, this phone, I have stored a lot of things to it. Okay, I don't want to store a particular number to this phone. So what am I going to do? I'm going to store it to my, let's say I'm going to write this on a book and I'm going to put it inside my suit. Let me see if I have any paper, any piece of paper. My suit, no, I don't have anything like that. So, okay, so what am I going to do? I will take the paper and I will write it, and I'll use a pen to write on the paper. So when that is done, I'll take the paper and I will put it into my pocket. So when it's in my pocket, when I want to use, when I have a reminder about, okay, what was written at that particular moment, or why did I write into that paper, I will have to just go to my suit, go to that suit, pick it up, pick it out, and I would look into it. Then if it warrants, I read it out. I'll say, okay, hello, this is what was written here. This and this and these are what's done and needs to be done. So it's just a simple explanation of what is a variable. So the paper is a variable, and what is stored into that paper is the value. So I don't want to lose that value, so I have to take that paper and put it into my pocket. So what is a variable? A variable is used to store a what? A value. So what's a variable? The paper is what? A variable, right? Because it's used to store a value. What is stored as a value into that paper? Because I can get any kind of paper in the whole world and I can use it. But I'm saying this particular paper is so precious to me because there is a value attached to that paper. So I have to take that paper and put it into my pocket and to say it and to store it and to say to myself that, hello, Oyinloye Israel Toby, you need to store this paper into your pocket so that this paper will not be misplaced. So that's why you see that word store, save it, keep it. So you can say a variable is used to keep a value. So I believe that is well explained. So there are different kinds of ways to declare a variable. So I can say, okay, I'll start with the simple way of mathematical operation. So you'll see this festive period as just went over, you see some people will say, oh, come and buy this at a particular price. They said, I want to buy this suit at a particular price. And they said it's what, 40% off. So the value is 100%. But I'm telling you that this is what, 40% off. Oh, you say, oh, I love this. And I have to buy it 40% off. So those are what we are going to do to make things to appreciate and to make C# to be well known. Okay, when I buy this for 40%, how much is it? How much is this suit for 40%? Now, how do we start? So I can start with, I will have to take away this hello world. Then I'm going to write this console dot, take note of this, write line. So I will say we want to perform a mathematical operations. Okay. So with this, so I would give you just one type of a way to store a variable for a value. They use data type. There are different kinds of data types. So I'm going to start with the integer. Today, I'm going to dwell on the integer data types. They call it int, integer data types. So with this, I'll say, okay, we have the what? Int. So int is what is a data type. So we can use a lot of ways to store what? A value, yes, from a variable. So now I can say int, let's use the normal logic because we are all beginners, are just learning it. Int first, I can say first number is what assigned to, let's say 20. Now take note of this. I wrote first number. So first is starting with small letter, number is starting with what? Capital letter. Why? Making the rules of what? Camel case. So I don't know if you climbed a camel before. So when you are declaring a variable, you declare it using what? A camel case. So you can see that, can you see underneath the variable, can you see it's a form of a camel? You know, the back of a camel is like this. So that's why I said unnecessary assignment of a value to first name. The variable first name is assigned. Can you see? The computer automatically understands it that first number is what? A variable. Saying the variable, if you look at it, it says the variable first number is assigned, but its value is never used. So take note of this camel case that is under it. So that's what we call a camel case. So you start with the small letter, then you move, then you get to the capital letter, you move. So even if your variable is having a longer name, so as long as you can break it down using the camel case principle, it is very easy to use. So with this, the next thing is we want to perform an addition. Sorry, let me use the word wrap. An additional mathematical operation. So we can use another one in second number towards 50. So with this, we have the second number to 52. I'm just picking any number randomly. So with this, so when you have your first number, you have your second number. And take note, line 2 says we want to perform an additional mathematical operations. So we're going to add 20 plus 50. 20 plus 50 should give us, let me guess, 20 plus 50. I'm still thinking. I don't know the answer. And I don't want to guess wrong. So that means I need something to store it in my brain once I get the answer. So I'm still thinking, 20 plus 50, 20 plus 50, 20 plus 50. I'm thinking, oh, I don't want to get the wrong answer. The first number is 20, the second number is 50. I don't want to get the wrong answer. What should I do? Oh my God, what should I do? That means when I get the answer, because I've been stressed out, I've stressed myself out, up and down, and like I'm just stressed out. I don't know the answer to 20 plus 50. How will I get this answer? God, how is this going to happen? So what will I do? I will just say, okay, once I get this answer, because I'm stressed out, I will have to store it and write it inward somewhere. So definitely we need something to store the answer. So we can say int final answer is equal to. So I can say at the beginning, I don't know the answer. Why? Because I'm 0. Like the final answer, I don't know the final answer. I'm just 0 to get the final answer. I don't know the final answer. It's just like, oh, I'm thinking, how will I get this final answer? How will I get this final answer? So it's still 0 in my brain. So I need to perform the operation. How will this operation be performed? I don't know. But I'm going to start it now. So I can say final answer, right? So it has been declared. Take note of this. This is our final answer. It's assigned a value of 0, right? Is equal to, right? So first number, then plus the addition, second number. So, because I don't know the answer, I'm asking myself, I need to pick the first number. I need to think. Then the second number. That's good. Second number. So when second number has been picked, then I need to print them out. So I will just write Console.WriteLine. I'll just say final answer. That's for a start, final answer. So I will save it. So I want to set a breakpoint. Take note of this breakpoint. To each and every one of them. To each and every one of them. So I'm going to debug. Take note, as we progress in this series, if your debugging skills is high, definitely you are going far as a programmer. No matter your age range, you are going far, super far. Thank you so much. So I'm going to start. Now take note of this. We want to perform an additional mathematical operations. This is over here using the debug console. Next, I like to use step over. So using step over, so this is first number to be 20. So second number to be 50. Okay, first number is still 20. So now take note of this. Look at the other type that I was done here. First number, second number, final what answer. All are what integers as declared here. So I can move the next one. We don't know the final answer yet. Wow! So the final answer has been calculated to be 70. That's good. 70. Wow. So I was just stressing myself all this while. Wow, 70. Wow. So 20 plus 50, it's 70. So with this 70, I want to calculate it and I want to print it out. So can you see the answer is what? 70. So now there's a better way to print it out. There's a better way. Now take note of this. If this shows the program app.exe has exited with code 0, it shows that the program, the debugging process has stopped and ended. So I want to print out the final answer in a more better way. So what will I do? I can say This might look hard a little, but I think next week, tomorrow, I'm going to make it more better by explaining how I print how it is printed out. So with this, I'll say the first number and the second number additional final answer is plus final answer. So there are many ways this can be printed out. So many ways. So, but I'm going to use this and I'm just going to run it using just to run the project. So you want to know the final answer just at once. So you can see it over here. The first number and the second number additional final answer is 70. Now, I give this the final task to be done. I give this question, which is the 70%. Okay. Now this 70%. Now 70%. Now what's the 70%? 70% of this operation. What's going to be the 70%? 70%. So I can say, okay, I can just give myself saying int 70 percentage is equal to, I can say 70, right? 70 is same as 0.7 times final answer, right? So now take note of this. Int 70 is 0.7 times final answer. So now this is already in a double because percentage sometimes comes in double. So this is another data type. I will continue from here. That will be tomorrow, but I'm going to print it out. So you can use System.Console.WriteLine. I don't want to be more than or too much for today. I can say the 70% of is so I can say 70%. So with this, I'll just run it and let's say our final answer. So it is not printed out. I was just trying to use a comma, but then we use a plus, and we just run it. Sometimes people also like to explore. So with this, now to take it off is what? 49. So that's 49%. That's 49. So if you want to put pounds there, I can say, okay, because this is from the UK, this is from the UK. So I can just put this and just run it again. So it just tells you, oh, it is 49 pounds. It's 49 pounds. So thank you so much. And that's the end of today's program. Please subscribe. Feel free to ask me any question. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow and have a great day. Bye.